war inside of me, and you watch it silently. Any idiot could see that I killed all the hope that I had. There's a war inside of me, burning red and honestly, and I wave it constantly, like a flag, like a flag, like a flag. This knife that's in my back keeps twisting. Anxiety attacks. This is a battleground. I'm caught in a crossfire. My words are weaponry, and I'm waiting patiently. You win the battle now, but I will return the fire. Yes, I crawl on broken glass to be the one who lasts last. You're advancing mercilessly, unprovoked and needlessly, and I march you into the sea, just to watch you drown in the end. I am used to these black eyes, to be bruised and antagonized, but it overwhelms my mind to believe that I called you a friend. This knife that's in my back keeps twisting. Anxiety attacks. This is a battleground. I'm caught in a crossfire. My words are weaponry, and I'm waiting patiently. You win the battle now, but I will return the fire. Yes, I crawl on broken glass to be the one. This is a battleground. I'm caught in a crossfire. My words are weaponry, and I'm waiting patiently. You win the battle now, but I will return the fire. I crawl on broken glass to be the one who lasts last. And down in the trenches I will go, fight the enemies on my own. This is a battleground. I'm caught in a crossfire. My words are weaponry, and I'm waiting patiently. You win the battle now, but I will return the fire. Yes, I crawl on broken glass to be the one. This is a battleground. I'm caught in a crossfire. My words are weaponry, and I'm waiting patiently. You win the battle now, but I will return the fire. I crawl on broken glass to be the one who lasts last. To be the one who lasts last.
Miramax Films is proud to present one of the most celebrated motion pictures of the year. The winner of the 1994 Palme d'Or, the best picture of the Cannes Film Festival.
Come on, let's get in character. I'm so interested in Big Man's wife. Well, he's going out of town in Florida, and he asked me if I'd take care of her while he's gone. Take care? No, man. Just show her a good time, make sure she don't get lonely.
Girl, you see,
This is a moral test of oneself.
I do believe Marcellus, my husband, your boss, told you to take me out and do whatever I wanted.
Whether or not you can maintain loyalty.
Night of the fight, you may feel a slight sting. Pride only hurts. It never helps. In the fifth, your ass goes down.
I have to say, play with matches, you get burned.
We should have shotguns for this kind of deal.
We're in a lot of danger, aren't we?
I'm prepared to scour the earth for that moment.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Get down, get down.
You got a corpse in a car, minus a head in the garage. Take me to it.
Don't you hate that?
Hey, what?
Uncomfortable silences.
Starring Mary Barone. 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 And Mary Barone.
Die, you mother!
In a new film from Adonis Paul. Sulk Fiction.
I helped hide a body. I was helping him hide her body. I was guilty of murder. They did not find my DNA. They did not find my fingerprints. They did not find me. Yes, I did what he told me to do to earn his trust. So I was guilty of murder. Anything that I did afterwards, I just murdered a woman. And he had already murdered somebody else and shown me her body. I was okay with it. And as soon as I got away, I went to the police. And I pretended I told them everything. All of you are saying that you just want justice for Roberta. You just want people to know the truth. You just want justice for a potato. But you want justice for her. Why would I not be in prison? There is literal evidence. There was absolutely no evidence to call me a murderer. Because when they did the investigation on her
Murderer! Not a murderer! Yes, it's that time again. It's that time again, ladies and gentlemen. It is Merry Sunday Best. And oh, yes, we are going to be having so much fun with this bent. Or at least we'll try, because she is boring as fuck, as we all know. But regardless, we're going to be looking at how fucked up she is. Well, actually, no, we're just gonna look at how dumb she is and how inconsistent she is with all her bullshit stories. So, without further ado, let us start off with one that just came out a few days ago, post Thanksgiving.
Hey guys, I'm once again asking for financial assistance.
Oh, it's not an Adrazia film without her pee begging. Sorry. It's not an Adrazia video without her constantly e-begging.
I get my food stamps next week, and I need to be able to feed myself until then.
Of course you do.
I'm mostly just needing enough to get sodas and like potatoes and butter.
She said potato.
And eggs, things that'll last a little bit. I am still taking a break. I'm not looking at comments or anything. I'm not, I haven't been posting until now because I need the help. I went out with a sign today and it didn't do any good, which is why I'm resorting back to this.
Oh my God, Mary. Mary, you are predictable, Mary. I'm just gonna say it right then and there. You're just so predictable. Do you really think people are gonna care about you? I mean, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be talking about her. I shouldn't be talking towards her, knowing that she will not respond. So I'm just gonna say this. This is traditional Adrastia shit. This is her being completely traditional. When it comes to her having no money, she'll go and e-beg and grip people. This has happened so many times.
So if anybody wants to help me out, PayPal me /Adrastia, ADRASDEA. Literally the tiniest bit helps. I can get a soda for $2 that'll last for a day and a half. So, and I only need to get through a couple of days. I'm gonna go out recycling tomorrow and see if I can get anything. It's been a little bit of a struggle. It was nice I had the turkey for a couple of days. That was last week now. Anyways, so since I don't want this video to be nothing but begging, I want to show y'all something. So I told y'all that I was
choking on my own rage.
Blissful, who was behind a lot of the allegations and lies and stuff.
Oh, I don't know who Blissy is.
And of course, first response was, well, it's my first day here. You're gonna learn quickly that it is always Blissy's first day here. She trained under Homer Simpson.
What?
It's always her first day. And so, of course, she posts and says, well, she clearly saw me, but I haven't been here. I just popped up and couldn't believe how much she exploded. And ha ha ha, it's my first day. I told y'all that she was banned from Recolor, right? So, this is what originally I think got her banned. This is what she was sending people, telling people. Awful. This is her case. The woman spoken is named Mary Margaret Barone. Adrastia has posted her story everywhere. How she's a poor victim and she's an accessory to murder. She wants charged because she helped police.
Sorry.
Don't believe me? Message Adrastia yourself, discreetly. Pry for details. She'll give them to you. Also have a post from her when she gave details about her name, an embellished story. She's a sociopath by definition.
Well, Blissy's not wrong.
Which explains how she treated me and me. Alright, this is from Blissy. This is one of the last things that she posted before being banned from Recolor. Yeah. And so this is the conversation that we had. This is about the fries, where she said that I turned on her, right? Let's see, I like the regular price, but I can have a fries. She says, my car's broke down, I'm still very short of money, this will be cheaper, but fill you up today. I said, I don't want regular. Then are the fries okay?
Oh, I think Blissy was leaning towards the fact that fries are potatoes, and we know how Mary is known for planting potatoes in the ground.
I'll get the voodoo fries. It's a lot of calories. It's cheesy and spicy. I can't just order
Lucifer cheese. Almighty, what is up?
I said, just forget it. You obviously don't really want to help, so don't worry about it. So forget it. She had said that her car was broken down, and so it didn't seem like she wanted to help. And also, the place she was ordering from wasn't going to allow her to put in an order for only like $2 or $3. It was like, I think there was a $10 limit. Like you had to order at least $10 to do it over the app or something. I don't know. But it wasn't that big of a deal, right? All I said was just forget it. You obviously don't really want to help, so just forget it. Me and her had problems in the past.
I wonder how. I wonder what the problem was.
That's where a lot of it came from. And so her response to that was, I hope you know that your misery is self-inflicted.
That's true.
You suffer because it's what you brought on yourself. You could have said, sorry, I can't eat that, and we could have brainstormed together on other options. I was willing to do it. It wasn't a lie. You're a spoiled brat, and I hope you know I'll make sure no one helps you again.
Blissy, whoever this Blissy is, I salute her. Because she's basically speaking the truth about Adrastia and how much of a sociopath she really is.
So it's a little bit coincidental that Blissy's goal here is to make sure that nobody ever helps me again. Because that seems to also be Bernice Morgan's goal. And Blissy and Bernice both start with a B. That's just a sequential little side note. I see you unblocked me, so is it cool I PM you now? Accessory to murder. Good thing you turned him in. I'm glad you came to your sense and did it, so he wouldn't hurt anyone else, but what's disgusting is how you pent her death. You helped him. Now play victim to make money and have a sad story. Christ, I had you court records, Mary Margaret Verone. They're public. Got some articles, too. Records were hard to dig up. Took some calls. What you're doing is sick. It's you go help and repent for your crimes. Good day. So the repent for your crimes part, that also comes up a lot from Bernice and people that work with her. Oh, and you have been banned from Reddit for the same shit you did to me, sweet child. Whenever will you stop being the fucking victim and grow up? Fucking sociopath. Wish you the best at your repent.
Damn! Damn! That was interesting. That was
something else that she posted here.
Don't. Stop, son, crack. Take that back.
Man, I got nothing better to do, and I'm sad and need cathartic release, so I'm gonna just throw a few paragraphs.
Don't.
Luna, I know this was to get a rise out of me. 99% of what you said in this thread is either untrue or wrongly twisted. I feel like you know this. I know you're not a bad girl, but your biggest flaw, like most of this place, is your inability to separate facts from feelings. And the fact y'all demonize anyone who doesn't 100% agree. Yes, I live...
I think Blissy has made a good point there. And yes, Adrastia has demonized and alienated anyone who has tried to help her. She's not wrong, though. Blissy is not wrong that Adrastia does this all the time.
In a sketchy as fuck neighborhood in downtown Detroit for years and had consistent issues with crime. And yes, the situation of stalking of a dude who came up behind me and started harassing me. The dude who destroyed my workplace in the names of Black Lives Matter. The kid who pushed me off a swing for literally being white. They happen to be both black. And yes, white people experience racism too. I experienced it in Detroit and in my earlier years in Hawaii. Sorry, this is the first time I'm reading this, honestly. So what happened was I messaged a moderator on Recolor and told them that I was having some issues with Blissy after being banned from them, and I asked for whatever information I could get that might help me in a cyber stalking case. And this is what I was sent. And this is the first time I've really looked at it. Sure, yeah, I did make statements such as African Americans. Lord, I didn't realize she was this racist. Okay, I'm gonna move off of this one again. Wait, I'm not a sociopath. I don't love murderers. This is a friend I knew my whole life and cared for. I never dated him in prison, moved on with my life. Like, this is all about her. She says I tell my life a lot, but she's all telling her life here. Oh, I was banned for doxing, but I didn't dox. She used to dox her damn self, and I personally shared material, but hid her.
Well, Mary did dox herself when she showed her, Mary did dox herself when she, filmed herself holding her electric bill, and of course, Dark Ninja got a hold of that information and posted that shit on 4chan. I think everybody knows what kind of person Dark Ninja really is.
Someone who I proved was lying about a case where she helped murder someone, but she used her victim story to gain money.
Well,
I
that's
had
true.
Motherfucking proof, and y'all banned me and let it happen. Y'all let a real
Oh, shit.
fucking psychopath solicit money with the story she stole. It's sad, and not gonna lie, I miss having a forum outlet a lot.
Well, yeah, Blissful's not wrong. Mary has lied about the whole issue, about the murder of Roberta Laws and how she tried to turn the story around and make it seem as though she was the one who was victimized by the whole issue. Hey, Corgi, what's up?
So again, you know, I'm going to go through this again in another video later. This is just kind of a pre-forward. So let's look at some of her older accounts, because some of these names might sound a little bit familiar if you've been on my channel and looking at comments over the last couple of months. We've got SiriX, Salmon, Riddle Me X This, Seriously Spaced Out, Less Than 100, Elephant, Luna, Pokey Bliss, Motion Pictures, Adonis, Anemone, One, Seriously Spaced Out, Not Your Mom, Sugar Crash, Pooping on Wreck. Y'all will remember there was somebody on my message board for a while named Pooping on YouTube. No, Pooping While Running, because it was a Maud Aubrey situation.
Poopy.
And Bernice also constantly, sorry, not Bernice, Blissy was just saying that she's not racist, but then she has this name, Pooping on Wreck, and then somebody in my comment using Ahmaud Arbery's face and a name called Pooping While Running. It's a little coincidental. Crips.
It's like a
Lady Drake. Let me lurk, god damn it. That's funny, she must have got frustrated. Dua 2, Pipia, Kia. Please message me mods. Please message me mods. Lucy, Desu, Flick, Complex, BB Lucy, Mermaid, Cicada. That's another one that's been in my comments.
Cicada.
Cicada. Kitsune Bliss.
Never mind.
Apathetic Blissy. Apathetic Bliss. Elusive Bliss. Miss Territorial. Danny. Your Crazy Ex. And
Alpaca Wolves.
From these accounts, and also look at how many accounts she's made. And these aren't all of her accounts. I have a couple of accounts on Rec, but it's not because I've been banned. It's because I forget passwords and I have mules. But this...
And what's this got to do with anything?
So, yeah. When I'm telling y'all that I'm fairly certain at this point that Bernice Morgan is Blissy, this is why I'm feeling that way. It's not, I'm not making things up.
Didn't you say the same thing about some other account and Adonis Paul being the same thing? Ager Ramp or whatever its name. I forget because, again, Aphin Ramp or whatever it's this.
This is ridiculous.
Mary, quite control.
mean, legitimately.
Mary, quite contrary. How is your evening flow?
Ridiculous. And like I said, there is more. I am.
But wait, there's more.
Going to be bringing up more for a longer video about this situation at another time when I'm going to be fully back on YouTube. I'm not back yet. This is the last video I'm going to be posting until next week. But, I did post because I need some financial help. And I wanted to give you all a little bit more context about the Blissy situation.
I'm not going to look at the turkey. So let's see what the sociopath has to say, what the idiot has to say.
Continue to comment on something you clearly don't understand. You clearly don't get the purpose
My garage.
of the defense attorney. This is hilarious.
Okay.
Because y'all's entire reason for
Mary, quite contrary. How is your evening flow?
despising me so much is based on something his defense said at the trial. That they tried to pin it on me. Even a little bit. They tried. And I've tried to argue with you people many, many times that they did that because he had to have a defense.
About what? About...
And defense attorneys will pull things out of their ass.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's literally their job to do that.
No. From what I heard, the defense attorney said... Oh, I thought she meant... Yeah,
Defend the person that you know is a murderer.
Murderer!
It takes a shit human being to do it.
Murderer!
It's their job.
Murderer!
So, the next time y'all come with that argument that, well, his defense attorney said this, remember that defense attorneys are literally paid to defend people who they most likely know are guilty as hell. And they are good at making things up. And even with the good at making things up, they still couldn't make up anything that stuck. And yet y'all are gonna harass me forever.
Well, I'm not gonna go and beat around the bush, but yeah. Mary still has convinced herself that she hasn't involved herself in the murder of Roberta Laws. But, of course, this is a Drazia we're talking about. She will never, and I repeat, never, ever, 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 ever hold accountability for what she did. Even though...
See, I understand exactly how defense attorneys work. I was starting to wonder if any of you did.
The defense attorney, actually, no, it wasn't a defense attorney that I recall. It was a prosecutor that said if he was a loaded gun, she pulled the trigger. That was in response to the fact that Adrastia, Mary Margaret Barone, probably told Kenneth McBride to get rid of Roberta Laws.
And now I know that, yes, you do know. Which means your accusations towards me are completely unfounded.
Really?
Because you know that that one line said by a defense attorney as a last straw doesn't actually mean shit.
Yeah, it doesn't mean shit when you're... Oh, sorry. Yeah. I don't understand where she's getting this shit from, but we're going to be doing some good shit.
And I know there are a lot of you that say that I'm lying about the harassment. It doesn't happen. And it does. The real life harassment absolutely does happen. I have not received mail. Like, the mail I'm holding in my hand that I received right now is only because I was lucky. Because my mailbox is continually broken open and my mail is taken. The letter I'm holding in my hand says final notice.
This is shanty levels of bullshit. But then again, Mary ramps it up so many times. Adrazia cannot, for the life of her, omit to anything.
And actually, it's too late to respond to it. What's the final notice about? My housing.
Oh yeah, she's gonna get evicted next month. Oh yeah, that's right. She's about to get evicted next month, and I don't know. I mean, am I expecting much from Adrazia? She put herself in this mess, and now she has to live with the repercussions that she may or may not be evicted next month, given the circumstances and the fact that she never ever had the foresight to pay her bills or pay her rent. And like what Adonis Paul had said, Adrazia has never done anything for herself. From her Section 8 housing to her free therapy and medicine and medication, she has never worked for anything in her entire life. She's never worked for anything she's been given in her entire life. And this translates to her online behavior, where she likes to cry wolf constantly and make up false narratives to paint herself as the victim.
Official cutoff date for my housing is in this envelope. Final notice. The last letter that they sent, I never received.
Trust me, the Batman, you don't want to see that. You never want to see that.
Because somebody's taking my mail.
Kind of like, this is one of the many stories that Adrazia likes to make up. She said, one time she said that people were taking her, stole the bars off of her window. And then she said that someone stole her money, or someone stole shit. Never mind. Now she's saying someone stole her mail. A couple months ago, she said something similar about bars on her window.
I'm working on it, you know? I've got to, what I gotta do is get an income, which I'm working on getting the general relief back.
I don't know if that's gonna go well for her, but okay.
And as soon as I can show them that I have an income, the general relief, they'll renew the housing. But they gave me paperwork. Twice they've sent me this paperwork to send them to help them figure it out. And the letters have been stolen out of my mailbox to the point that I'm at a final notice. And the cutoff date has been set. And it's very possible that I will be homeless again by January.
January is not far, Mary. January is not far.
And a big part of it is because my mail has been stolen, because I can't fill out forms that I'm not receiving. So when I tell y'all that what you're doing is actually affecting my life, I'm not lying. I might be homeless again because of it. I had to change my therapist because of it. I might need to change my doctor because of it if y'all keep calling. And yes, calls have been made. Y'all have written, you tried to have my therapist license taken away. You tried to straight have the offices shut down. Free mental health services, and y'all are trying to have them shut down. Over petty shit. Petty fucking shit.
How many times have I heard Adrazia blame other people for all her mistakes? 1,000 times. I'll let you guess. 5 years she's been in LA. 5 years. She still does this. For those of you who've seen Mayo Part 1, 2, and 3, you should know that this is a common theme for Adrazia. Every time she doesn't do anything to help her situation, or anytime she gets caught up in a lie, she goes through extreme means to exasperate the bullshit and make it seem as though it's everyone's fault that she is like this.
Sorry, the headphones cord. I've had to change my medication multiple times because of all of this. I've had to change my phone number multiple times because of all this. I've had to create a new email because of all of this. And the one that I showed y'all, that Bernice emails, I don't even use anymore. I have a new one. Another thing that's been stolen from my mailbox is my Cash App card, because I finally got signed up for Cash App, and I applied for the fucking card, and they were supposed to mail it to me, and it was supposed to have arrived last week.
This is her version. You know, this kind of reminds me of the time when Reb and Shani were lying about the key fobs. This is her key fob story.
I have not received mail because one of you is taking my mail, which means now I can't use Cash App. I've sent it, I have it where I send it straight to my bank if it goes in. I only have one person that donates through it anyway, so the card wasn't going to be used that much, but one of you has it.
I'm thinking about getting a Cash App card.
And y'all can keep saying that that's not an effect to my actual life, but it is.
Bullshit. More bullshit. Anyway,
Hold on, I gotta wait for it to load up. Okay, while we're waiting for it to load, I'll explain what's happening. So, y'all are mad because I only responded to part of the comment. I only responded to part of the comment because only part of the comment had anything to do with what I was saying. So here it is. Why do you continue to comment on something you clearly don't understand? You clearly don't get the purpose of the defense attorney. That was the part that I responded to, because that was the part that had something to do with the post that I made. We were talking about Goff pulling shit out of his ass as a defense attorney, and how that's what defense attorneys do, right? That's what the conversation was about. That's what I responded to. The second part of the question was not a real question. It's something that you guys do to tear me down and to make people hate me when you know that you've failed. You know that what I've said is right, and the only thing you can do is bring up things that are not true to spread around and keep me being pulled down. So what's the second part of it? Stop lying about everyone. I didn't lie about you. Y'all have been lying about me. And explain why you called us all pedophiles. Okay? For one, I didn't.
Yes, she did. She called Adonis Paul's people. She called Adonis Paul's fans pedophiles.
I did not call all of you pedophiles. I did say that I believed the majority of the people who watch Adonis Paul or Daywave or any of the other channels that harass me are bad human beings.
And there she goes projecting.
Drug addicts, pedophiles, sex offenders.
Murderer.
Just the worst of the worst that are not in prison because they're too busy online. They do everything cyber so they don't get caught.
Huh. She's not helping her case that much. We all know none of that shit is true. It's just her. She is a drug addict. And she probably is, well, a pedophile enabler. She can be a pedo enabler. Because she basically facilitated the sexual abuse of a minor when she was still married to her first husband. And of course, let's not forget that she was having sex with Kenneth McBride, who was a convicted child molester.
And yeah, I believe that. I do. Because why else would you take joy in harassing a mentally unstable woman?
Because you're not really that mentally unstable. You claim to have like borderline personality disorder. You claim to have bipolar personality disorder. You claim to have CPTSD. You claim to have all these other illnesses, Mary. And you like to come on here, blame everyone else for all your misfortune, and then you expect other people to fight your battles for you? I'm sorry, but I fail to see the logic in that. And I am speaking this to Mary Woods Barone, because I know she's not going to respond to anything I say because she doesn't know who the fuck I am. And she's only targeting the big name channels like Adonis Paul, Daywave Radio, Revenge of the Sis, Nightwave, Virgie, and Hatman.
Y'all went as far as to contact the hospitals that I go to, the medical centers, the mental health resources, my landlord, my neighbors. Over what? And this is what y'all do. You take a story and then you focus on a very small part of it.
And the part that and I bet that part where she it omitted to the fact that she told Kenneth McBride to get rid of Roberta Laws.
That's what you did with my book. I wrote a whole book.
Which was full of lies. Her book, I Will Never Stop Screaming, was a blatant ripoff of A Child Called It. And she basically makes up this narrative where she is a poor abuse victim. And and when she was talking about the murder of Roberta Laws, she omitted the part where she helped buy a shovel to bury the woman, to bury the poor woman. She omitted the part about the emails that she exchanged with Kenneth And she also omitted the part where she and Kenneth were arguing on whether or not they should actually get rid of that poor disabled woman.
Y'all have focused on like 2 pages of it and made hours and hours and hours of documentaries, fact proving and shit over 2 pages of my book.
I did read portions of that book. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't. It wasn't something I would read. I only read a few pages, a few portions, which of course goes to show that, yeah, there are some things that she's not actually telling the truth. There are some things that she's not telling us, and most of it sounds made up. Especially about the part where she talked about being held captive for 5 weeks and beaten and raped to no end. That part was made up.
Without looking at the rest of the book. Because the rest of the book doesn't help your story. See, you want to make people believe that I'm a bad person.
Well,
you can't do that.
No, I wouldn't. Well, in a section, in some area in Mayo Part 3, AP put up like a wall of text about all the fucked up things Adrastia's done. She tried reporting AP's channel. She tried to report Daywave. She tried to report Irate Prostate. She made thousands of response videos towards AP, Daywave, Aunt Kathy, Virgie, Hatman, and she tried to call the police on AP. Look, I can go on and on about all the fucked up things she has said and done, but I don't have the time or patience to go through every fucked up thing she has said and done. All I can say is that some of the most extremely fucked up things she has done was help facilitate child abuse and murder. Not to mention, she emotionally abused her grandmother and has made countless lies about her childhood, especially a part about her father.
If some of what I'm saying is true and makes sense. So you have to say, well, yes, but what about this that happened 10 years ago that we were not around for, that we don't understand at all, but we're going to keep talking about? What about this that happened 20 years ago that we were not around for, but are going to continue judging you for? I didn't deny what I said. You are manipulating and twisting the words to say that I said all of you were pedophiles. I didn't. And that's a statement that's true with literally all of America. In all of America, in all of the world, I can openly and honestly say that there are some pedophiles. Where's the lie? In Adonis Paulus viewers, in Daywave's viewers, most likely in my viewers, because they're everywhere, there are some pedophiles. It's not a lie. If you're offended by it, then maybe it's a you problem.
Also, this isn't the first thing she's called us. She's called us not... Well, I wasn't here during the whole Adrastia thing, so I only knew about Adrastia from Hatman, and then I started looking into her to see how crazy and fucked up she really is. And she is crazy and fucked up.
Like,
there are some men that if they hear a woman talking about an abusive man, they'll jump up and say, well, men aren't like that, you know. I'm not like that. That's not how we are. So you're lying. No, it's just that you're a different man. It doesn't mean that they're all the same.
In your eyes, in her eyes, all men are the same.
I'm responding to this because y'all fucking blew up my channel last night again. And my mailbox. I mean, fucking Bernice. Niece
Lone Wolf?
I didn't choke on my meatballs. I enjoyed my meatballs. I cut them into small pieces so that I
Choke on your lies.
wouldn't choke.
Niece Morgan and Niece Lone Wolf are the same person.
I don't even open these. The only ones that I open are by accident.
The only one she
When I
opened.
accidentally click on something.
Yeah, but Mary's stupid. And now let's hear what is the mail thief about.
And for the ones arguing in the comments that nobody would steal my mail, or how do I know it was you guys?
Oh my god. Like I said, this is similar to the whole keep-off thing. That Shanny and Rev's keep-off narrative. When they kept saying that someone stole their key fobs, when in actuality, Rev misplaced the key fobs. But they made an entire stream begging people to donate money to them for to replace them. But anyway, the whole thing was fucked up and completely stupid. This is the same thing.
I know for a fact it was one of you. Who it was, I don't know. There's 800 of you. How am I supposed to know who exactly is doing it? I do know for a fact that it's somebody from this community, this situation, because a couple of months ago, I allowed my phone to go off for almost a month in order to get away from all of this. And from the frustration of not being able to harass me online anymore, they started putting things in my mailbox.
Like, oh, that was, I remember when Adonis Paul mailed Adrazdia gorilla shit. And also, the folks at Daywave bought her a shovel. And, of course, the potato with Roberta Law's face on it. Good times. Good times.
And they were things that nobody in this area would have any reason to be putting in my mailbox. Pictures of dead people.
Roberta?
So, yes.
Oh, yes! Yes! Sorry.
Pictures of dead people.
Oh, yeah, I remember. AP mentioned that Adonis Paul mentioned in a Virgie stream, or was it? Yeah, it was Virgie stream, where he talked about sending Adrazia a potato with Roberta Law's face on it. That was what he was talking about.
So, yes. Y'all have been tampering with my mail. And so when my mail began...
Also, don't forget the shovel. Don't forget the shovel, Mary. Oh, wait, that was given to her at her house. I bet she tried selling that shovel for weed money.
...began vanishing completely, I knew whose hands it was going to. Not whose exact hands. But I essentially know that it's one of you intercepting my mail before I get there because I don't have a lock on the box.
Well, that was dumb.
Because there's never been a lock on the box. Because it keeps getting broken into.
I bet it's one of the fuck people. And now let's hear some holiday news.
Any and all comments about donations made to me
Oh yeah, I've seen
are
this.
a lie.
Oh, I've seen this one. I don't care. Let's hear.
Y'all love
Hold on, let me see what she got to say about the whole issue. Oh, yeah, I already saw that one.
Y'all love alleging that there's nothing wrong with me.
Well, that's
because
true.
I get confrontational with people on the street or people on the bus. A symptom
Yeah.
of PTSD is actually being, they call it hyperarousal. When I get triggered by something or upset by something, I get really upset. And with
She gets a lot upset about everything. And it's not because of PTSD or CPTSD. Because compound is not a real thing.
everybody has a fight or flight response in them. I automatically go for fight. And with PTSD, the fight or flight response is triggered much, much easier than in a normal person who is completely stable. And so when my fight or flight gets triggered, my response is to fight.
So she'll pick a fight with everyone that she meets. So she'll pick a fight with everyone that she comes in contact with. You said it, not us, Mary.
Because I come from an extremely violent childhood.
That wasn't Mary. That wasn't your childhood, Mary. That was Dave Pelzer's childhood, not yours.
And whether y'all like to admit it or not, you are shaped by your childhood. I grew up with going back and forth from my grandparents to my parents. My grandparents obviously were very loving and spoiled me and did everything they could to make up for what they knew was happening at my parents' house.
No. No. Your grandmother spoiled you rotten. That's all.
Because both my parents would fly into a rage at the drop of a hat. You didn't even have to do anything.
Damn.
For them to start screaming and throwing things and threatening and breaking shit.
Exactly.
And it was not like a once in a while occurrence. It was 24/7 in that house. There was always screaming, or you were trying to avoid being screamed at. Yeah.
What is this? The Little Girl by John Michael Montgomery?
There was food that we weren't allowed to have. Couldn't have any of the Cokes because those were Mom's.
Cocaine is...
And she would fly into a rage if you took one.
I call bullshit.
So, it's not unnatural for me to respond the way that I do. You guys just want it to be unnatural. You want to see, like, anxiety as just huddling in a corner being afraid. Not everybody gets that way. For me, because of the environment I was raised in, I was raised to be an angry, aggressive bitch.
You said it, not us.
And that's what I become. Very, very easily. And I'm not proud of it. But it is what it is at this point.
Yeah, right. But were you raised to bury someone in the Were you raised to bury a potato? Didn't think so.
So y'all are constantly saying, well, you gotta claim your donations and your donations, you make so much, and I don't make that much.
No.
I'm allowed to make a certain amount and still get benefits, and I make well under that amount. From the second half of October to the first half of November, because that's when my my account, it rolls monthly over on like the 20th, so it's only half a month. Anyways, I only earned $154 in donations.
That's a lie. I bet she earns, well, she earns less, but if you're including Biden bucks or well, she don't get no Biden bucks.
That's it. And I am going to prove that to y'all. I don't have to, but I'm going to.
Chase the Train brings up a good point. I mean, Chase the Train says that your mailbox is not your own. Legally, it belongs to the United States Postal Service. This means that tampering with the mailbox is a federal offense. Mail tampering has a broad meaning that includes any act that might obstruct the delivery of mail, from vandalizing the mailbox to delivering a few innocent flyers. So, yeah, no one's gonna break the law to fuck with you, Mary. So, what that means is no one's gonna break the law to fuck with you. No one's gonna go to jail for you.
I'm tired of being lied about. Genuinely. And
I'm tired of hearing your lies.
And this statement, I usually don't even get this much. I mean, I used to. When I was living in the truck, I made a lot more. But since all of the things have been started and going on the last year, I've made very, very little.
Bullshit.
Alright, so, and this is for the, a full month's worth of things. Deposits, withdrawals, others, fees, ending balance. $154 was the complete amount that I put into the account between the periods of October 20th something and November 20th. So, and I am allowed to make quite a bit more than that.
So she makes a lot more by getting government assistance? Is that what I'm hearing?
So I've been wanting to prove this to y'all for a while, but the only other way to do it would be to show my PayPal transactions. And that would expose the people that are helping me. And I'm not going to do that again because I realize that...
Well, she's saying she's not going to dox people again.
Every time y'all find out who's sending me money, you harass them endlessly.
No, she does that herself.
It's not fair to the people who are trying to help me.
By the way, for those of you who are tuning in, how do you like my new backdrop? Sweet, isn't it? And sets the mood. Because it's basically Godzilla. And now, let us take a look at what the fuck she means. Let's see what she's defaming.
My issue is that all of this
I'm gonna go blow my nose.
is a lie that is being spread to defame Ahmaud Arbery.
Okay.
So let's go through it. Let me turn my face.
Nico, give me hugs.
Okay.
Oh.
Let's see. It's a self-defense case.
You mean hypothetically?
No. The McMichaels were attempting to execute a...
No, but don't call me Hitler.
Using shotguns.
Why?
It was not self-defense because Mr. Arbery was not going after the McMichaels. The McMichaels were going after him. Do you understand that? Mr. Arbery was running. The McMichaels were in vehicles with guns. How were the McMichaels in danger in any way? They chose to track down.
You died a long time ago.
They chose to chase him. Okay? Did you know that he who died had just stolen valuable tools from a construction site? I did not, because that is a lie. He had not stolen anything. Tell me this. If he had just stolen tools,
nice,
which are usually pretty heavy, how
damn.
was he running?
I'm glad you reformed.
With nothing in his hands or pockets.
Also, poopy.
Do you often run carrying like sledgehammers or any kind of heavy machinery that you would find at a construction site?
Poopy.
No, you don't. That's not something that you're just going to run through the neighborhood with. He wasn't holding anything in his hands that he might have stolen. And the owner of the house under construction has already stated multiple times, Mr. Arbery did not steal anything from his property.
Not helping the case. Oh, she's still going on about the whole Mr. Arbery thing. Exactly. She says your internet person has said this one best. You say a lot of words about things you know very little about. Bad character trait. You're losing all the goodwill you built up with your IRL freakout videos. Why am I not surprised? And Dave De Dominici said, you keep accusing me of lying, but I don't know anything about this case. I haven't said anything at all. Never mind, lied about it. Yeah. And New BH said, Kyle is free. How big mad are you? Also, Arbery tried to take a gun from a man's hands. Self-serve death sentence.
There were no trespassing signs on the property. There were no doors to be broken down or windows to be broken into. Mr. Arbery was not the only person that walked around in that construction site. He was the only person that was chased down and shot. There was a person they believed to be homeless. Mr. Ahmaud Arbery was not homeless. The person they say was stealing tools was a homeless man that they have still not identified, but they have clarified that it was not
Poopy
Ahmaud Arbery. So no,
I'm to Batman, vigilante hero. Oh, come on, to Batman.
Phone with 911 the
I'm
entire
vengeance.
time. Yeah, I did. And did you know that the dispatcher basically told them that they should stop pursuing
Stop
him?
being poopy.
I've listened to the 911
It's
call.
funny.
The dispatcher
That's
repeatedly
what the
asked,
story is.
what has he done? What is he doing? And when they say, should we even be following him, the dispatcher
In other words,
says,
he's
no,
bullshit.
you do not need to be following him. So, yeah, they were on 911 the entire time. And 911 was telling them to stop following this man who had not committed a crime yet. Did you know he tried to grab the rifle out of the man holding it? Yeah. After being chased down for miles,
Explain more where that came from.
he was exhausted, and he finally stopped running, and they got out of the truck with the shotgun
Neither do I.
pointed at him.
But I will ask for those who...
You are
It
not
belongs
in
my
Mr.
own.
Arbery's mind. He was terrified.
Also, I'm Terry.
Of course he grabbed the shotgun. These men that were just chasing him for who knows how long.
Poopy.
Well, he
Stop
was
saying
on
poopy.
foot.
They have been chasing him in vehicles.
No.
And now they have a gun pointed at him. Hell yes, he's gonna grab that gun. You know what? I would have too.
It's chicken fried steak!
I would have, being a white woman, I would have done the exact same thing Mr. Arbery did.
One of the things that AP and I have in common...
They had no right to be chasing him. They had no...
One of the things that AP and I have in common is our love for Beavis and Butthead.
right to hold a gun on him. They had no right to do any of what they did. They had no reasonable suspicion of
Mary was Barone.
No crime happened, so how could they have reasonable suspicion of one? And before you start saying, well, he was trespassing, fine, okay. He was trespassing. Trespassing is not even an arrestable offense 99% of the time. You want somebody to leave? Tell them to leave. If they don't leave, then they're arrested for trespassing.
What about the time when Mary was trespassing on the house where the original House on Haunted Hill was filmed at? Or actually, no, she wasn't really trespassing on the house. She was trespassing on the property.
They didn't tell Mr. Arbery to leave. He was already gone.
When it wasn't time to be used as like a tourist attraction. She could have just waited until Halloween time to go to pay a visit, but of course Mary is too stupid and lazy to even consider that.
He left the place where they wanted him to leave, so what were they detaining him for? Well, they said they just wanted to talk to him. They wanted to ask some questions for him. Well, okay, but he didn't want to talk to you. And in the United States of America, everybody, black or white, we have the right to remain silent to anybody.
We do have the right to remain silent, but what Mary lacks is the capacity to remain silent.
Not just to the police. You don't just have to be silent to the police. If your mom and dad want to know something from you that you don't want to answer, you have the legal right to not say shit. You have the legal right to be mute. You have the legal right to not speak to anyone that you don't want to speak to. So Mr. Arbery, clearly not wanting to speak to them and running away, he has that right. The McMichaels do not get to forcibly command somebody to talk to them just because they want to talk to the person. It don't matter what the fuck you want to do. Each individual person has the right to choose who they want to speak to and who they don't. And if you're chasing somebody down in a pickup truck with guns screaming at them, they're not going to want to speak to you.
Yeah, I forgot about that shit. She's an idiot.
Did you know this last act is why he was shot in an act of self-defense? Yeah, he was shot trying to disarm the murderers who had chased him down.
Murderer!
It was in self-defense on his part. Mr. Arbery was attempting to defend his life when he reached for that gun.
Bullshit.
And did you know the word was never uttered by any of the men involved? It was. It absolutely was. And it's on one of the cameras. And they're dismissing it because they're saying that it happened like so close to when the murder happened that they can't be responsible for what they're saying in that traumatized moment. But he said what he said. I never watched the video or paid any attention. Yeah, I actually did watch the videos. I watched the video last year when he was killed, and I have been keeping up with the case since then. The problem is that so many people believe all of these lies about this man.
She'll defend anyone who ends up. She'll defend anyone being criticized.
Ahmaud Arbery didn't do any of this. And now he's dead, and he doesn't even get the chance to defend himself. And people like you and millions of others. There are so many people who believe this. You're going to spend the rest of your lives tearing down and defaming a man who was murdered in cold blood just because you don't want to admit that it is very, very possible some people in America are still racist. Because if you admit that it's possible that there are corners of America where racism is still rampant, you might have to try to fix that. And fixing that might fuck up your whole world. So it's easier to continue spreading lies and misinformation.
About you?
I'm not buying into it or playing that game.
This is just some virtue signaling bullshit, right? She's just virtue signaling for a guy who basically attempted to steal someone's gun. Not out of self-defense. And yes, whoever this person is, I can't pronounce that name. Nyatali. Mary, nothing I said was a lie. And yes, dude did commit a crime by robbing the construction company. He had very intention to use the gun against the McMichaels. That's not self-defense on dude's part. If you attack someone and try to grab the gun, you are going to get shot. It was self-defense on the McMichaels' part. Okay.
The McMichaels, with their pickup trucks and shotguns and Confederate flag sticker, chased down and gunned down an unarmed black man who was doing nothing but running.
Aha! Virtue signaling.
He did not steal anything. They did not see him steal anything. They did not own the property they were trying to trespass him from. There was no need to trespass somebody who had already left. They were not police. They are completely fucked. And I'm happy for it.
Yeah, you're an idiot, Mary.
Because and what's sad is, even after they go to prison, people are still going to be spreading this nonsense.
She's upset because Kyle Rittenhouse was found not guilty. As you should be upset. As you should be upset. Yeah, fuck that guy. Fuck Kyle.
About Mr. Arbery.
But she's not talking about the whole Kyle Rittenhouse verdict. I mean, she's talking about the whole Mr. Arbery thing. I mean, that shit was a year ago. The whole Kyle Rittenhouse thing happened weeks ago, probably before Thanksgiving. And she is upset about a case that happened a year ago that she's been following.
You can be the best human being possible, but then if you die, somebody else is going to get to tell your story. And if they don't like the way you look, they might decide to tell your story.
Of course. Death to all pedophiles. Yeah, death to all pedophiles. For me, I really am not one to... For me, I don't know. I just try to stay out of it as much as I can. And yes, I do what I can to stay out of this whole Kyle thing, because honestly, I try to stay away from this as far as I can. Because my purpose is to balance between right and left. Or at least. But because there has to be like a middle ground to how, because people got shot gun rights and all that. It's bad enough we have mass shootings around the world.
Like this. Which is sad. And it's exactly why I didn't want people who hated me telling my story. It's why I told my story. Before the people who despise me had a chance.
I don't know. I mean, dude. I understand the memes behind the whole thing. I mean, a lot of people are saying, well, there are people on the right who are saying that he did it in self-defense. He was taking the law into his own hands and all that. And there was a shootout. But when it comes to civil unrest about the whole thing, especially when there have been riots about injustices going on in our country, when the whole verdict, the not guilty verdict came out, oh my god, it became apparent to me that society has completely fucked itself over. We're not allowed to have different opinions about certain things. It's sad. It is sad. Who knows? But who knows? Who knows? Maybe those people that Kyle did murder were probably bad people. But it doesn't change the fact that we're becoming more, I guess you could say, primitive. It's kind of like what you would say a hive mind, or tribalistic is the word I'm looking for. It's basically a tribalistic based mentality that perpetuates.
Because I want to make sure that people know my side of everything. Mr. Arbery doesn't get to present his side. The McMichaels get to create what they've had the last year to create.
Honestly, it wouldn't fucking surprise me if she started talking about the victims, the victims of Kyle Rittenhouse, and started defending them on the fact that they were POCs, persons of color. When in actuality, those people were probably evil people. And yes, death to all pedos.
Create whatever they wanted.
Or at least. Yeah, fuck pedos. Fuck all pedos. Those people are bad. Or at least, well, actually, no, the ones who act on their urges are evil. The ones who actually do hurt children, those are evil.
In their heads. They've had the last year to convince millions of other racist people that what they did is right. It wasn't right.
Well, yeah, better safe. I agree. Better safe than sorry. But let's not talk about that right now, because let's get back to the whole Blissy thing, the whole Blissy argument between Mary and this person.
It's all so much more petty than I ever imagined. So I am taking a break, but I wanted to explain to you guys a little bit of what I figured out is going on. Because I figured out a little bit. Beginning. I post on a forum titled Recolor. It was created in, I think, 2009, and a lot of us migrated there from Gaia Online, which I had been a member of since 2003. So, I have been with Recolor since the site started. It's a pretty good group, but there are a couple there that are absolutely insane. One of those was a female named Blissy. Blissy was always having problems on Recolor. There were a lot of people that had issues with her. I wasn't really her friend. You know, I guess we talked, she popped into my thread, but I wasn't going to her threads very often.
Now, again, I'm still new to the whole Blissy thing. And I want to hear from the horse's mouth. Nope. And I'm not calling Blissy a horse face. I'm just saying. Let me read Blissy's comment. So this will be a little long and I don't need a response. Just read whenever you can, alright? Again, I don't need a video response. Comment is fine. Hey, yeah, that was me on Kiwi Farms ranting because I had only just found out about your outside Recolor presence and it triggered how pissed I was. However, you mentioned not wanting to listen to all I said. And I spoke slow. So I know someone has been impersonating me lately, but I haven't seen any videos. So I have no idea what you're talking about. I haven't recorded anything about my voice with my voice. Only ranted on Kiwi Farms and YouTube and Reddit once a bit back, girl. I have no influence on the internet. I can assure you I wasn't going to any YouTubers. LMAO. God, I wish I was that fucking interesting. Don't we all? And yeah. So Blissy here says that she bought her a pizza. And she's talking about her old roommate. And she wasn't really considering the whole mental health eat raising. But sorry about the chewing noises. But instead of actually reaching out to Blissy, Mary decided to make it public and start talking about the whole thing on her channel because, of course, she wants the validation. And she gets so upset when she doesn't get support from Facebook simps. And of course, Blissy says that Mary was being ungrateful. And, well, also, I saw what you said on the forum yesterday. I did not send you texts. I did not tell you to blink yourself. I feel like you're making that up so you can spin the story on me somehow when I called you out. If people were actually texting you, that block them. Yeah.
She bragged about being in love with somebody who was in prison for murder, and she fully stood behind them and like sent them letters and stuff in prison. It's not the kind of thing I would want to associate with, you know? So, time goes on.
Hold on, let me hear that part again.
Murder. About being in love with very often. She bragged about being in love with somebody who was in prison for murder. Popped into my thread, but I wasn't going to her threads very often. She bragged about being in love with somebody who was in prison for murder.
Ooh. Oh. Huh. Why does that ring a bell, Chase? Why does that ring a bell? I don't know. Maybe because, well, I'm not going to answer that.
And she fully stood behind them and, like, sent them letters and stuff in prison.
Who doesn't like pizza? Today is pizza day.
It's not the kind of thing...
Or at least it was pizza day.
I would want to associate with, you know?
So, but she would be associated with the fact that she facilitated a murder.
Time goes on.
Or she was an accessory to murder.
And me and Blissy had a couple of run-ins because she gets crazy over crazy things. I think one of the fights we had was, she posted that she was at a dinner with friends.
Oh.
And one of her friends...
Okay. I get you, Chase. I get it, Chase.
Had a panic attack.
The roommate. That was the roommate that Blissy was talking about.
And she became overly judgmental of her friend and was like, well, it wasn't real. She just was pretending because she didn't want to pay the bill or something. And I said to her, you know, it's pretty fucked up that you claim to have mental health issues yourself, but then when you witness one of your friends having an attack, your first thought is, well, they're making it up. And so we...
It almost sounds as though Mary has been making all her mental illness up.
Weren't on the best terms. There was another time while I was homeless, she offered to buy me food.
Pizza?
But then only offered to buy, like, French fries or veggie sticks. And I was wanting some meat. So at the time, I was trying not to eat anything fried because my gluten problem, I wasn't sure if it was gluten or if it was oil.
Of course. Of course. It all comes back to the fact that she can't eat gluten.
And
because we all know the fact that every time a Jurassic eats gluten, it gives her the shits.
I wasn't trying to eat French fries because they're fried. So I was like, can't you just get me some chicken? Some meat, some protein?
Dude, Mary, Blissy was offering you something to eat, and you turned her down because you are so fucking ungrateful. She was trying to offer you a helping hand, and you spat in her face.
If you can't, then I would rather just not have anything, because a little thing of veggie sticks isn't going to fill me up. I can't eat the fries. And what's the point of spending like $4 on the veggie sticks if it's not going to fill me?
Yay!
We're back in like 10 minutes.
Oh my god.
Anyways, so
ice cream right at the right time, just in time. The ice cream truck comes in.
The years we had our run-ins, and I did know that she had some pretty bad problems and would obsess and kind of freak out. So
Kind of sounds like you, Mary. Is this projection?
I left her alone, but it was a situation where, like, I would make a thread and she would say something and then make 5 threads about the thread that I just made. And people would be telling her, stop. You don't need to even be making a new thread about it. You have a thread, just go back to that one. You don't even need to be doing this. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Just let it go. And that would just enrage her more. And she became set on exposing me and freaking out, and just, she became obsessed with bringing me down. And then this year,
I like fries.
She finally took action. She went to larger platforms because
Kiwi Farms. The larger platform Mary is referring to was Kiwi Farms.
Recolor banned her. Recolor perma-banned her.
So she went on Kiwi Farms to talk about her. To talk about you, Mary.
For cyberbullying and doxing me after months of warnings and being told that it needs to stop, that it's not okay to do this kind of stuff on the site. Months. They gave her so many opportunities, and it just kept escalating and getting worse. So finally, Recolor itself banned her. And that made her more angry at me. Right? She's the one that has done the rule breaking, that has caused the platform.
Hold on, let me hear what she says. B, I was tight on cash. I couldn't afford to buy you meat, but I offered fries since they were not breaded and a veggie side. You then went and made a public thread, again, saying mean and nasty things about me for no reason. You claimed something about your mental illness not letting you eat veggies because they taste funny. I don't know, but you went off. You didn't say my username, but you made it obvious you were ranting about who you were ranting about. That was strike 2. 3. C. When you wouldn't shut the hell up, I finally told you that you were being ungrateful, and you've completely ruined my morale in ever wanting to help the homeless again. You blocked me, but still continue to make threads about me. You mentioned things about the situation you were mentioned here. My personal past with someone I knew my whole life who blacked out on drugs and woke up to a mess, and he's in prison for it. That's it. It had nothing to do with me. It was just someone I was close to that went off the deep end due to prescription drugs. Very difficult situation. Very sad. I didn't brag about it. What the fuck? So yeah. Anyway, I get pissed and make like 2 alt accounts to scream at you. And I got suspended for 3 days from the website. Strike 3. I snap. Someone sends me your book. I see a comment containing details. I dig into those details and see a story that you told the public. But what you told the public and what was actually outlined didn't completely line up. The way you asked for donations and used the story. The way you asked for donations went on for months, for years. I was nice to you until I smelt your shit, and all this happened in a matter of a few days. After my suspension was up, I dropped the court docs. I found and highlight to people what you said versus what your book said versus what the court docs said. It has been it was seen as doxing, and I was banned. They call it bullying, but my God, woman, I helped you and you spit in my face, so I went apeshit and threw it back. I don't care about being banned from a dumb site. I care that I felt for you and donated, and you took a hot steaming dump on my face in return. Blissy, you're not the only one she's dumped on. And FYI, the reason why I felt compelled to drop the court docs was because I blocked your name. And you literally doxed yourself daily. You've publicly given your full name, number, Facebook, and oodles of other info. I felt like I was scammed into helping you because, as I said, the facts didn't line up. She's not wrong. No. She tried to buy her food. She tried to buy her food to Batman. And Mary made a big issue about the whole thing. But Blissy didn't have that much money to buy her meat, to buy her a fucking hamburger. The least she could do was buy her some fries. But Mary made a big issue about it because, of course, she is a spoiled, selfish cunt who cares about nobody but herself. Anyways, there's my internet drama for the year. After I ranted on Kiwi Farms, and after typing this out, I realized how fruitless this all is. Like, I don't wish harm on you, and I'm done. This is a stupid waste of energy on my part, and in the end, it's just a dramatic distraction from everyday reality. Like, I'm glad you're off the streets and had a turkey this year. Truly, I am glad for you on that. I realize your mental health is likely contributed to you being a jackass to me in return. But you need to recognize that you do all this all the time. You do this all the time. That's why your YouTube blew up for a little while, and you got so many enemies. And no, Adrasia, I assure you, none of that was me. I just got here. I wasn't spreading anything. I only recently found your YouTube /Kiwi Farms. Regardless, I hope things stay getting better for you. Good luck. Stop picking fights with strangers on buses. Peace. Oh, so that's what she was talking about. The whole, I suffer from PTSD and I'm prone to fights bullshit. Yeah. Also, I saw what you said on the forum yesterday. I did not send you texts. I did not tell you to blink yourself. I feel like you're making that up so you can spin the story on me somehow when I called you out. If people were actually texting you that, block them. I can assure you it wasn't me. I don't say crap like that. I find it disgusting. Mary and Matt Fields comes in saying, Mary is a sociopath. We all know that. Don't feel sorry for her. The best practice in her situation is to cut your losses and laugh your ass off at her. I agree, Matt. Oh, and she made this after she claimed that she's going to take a break.
To take action. But I'm the one that is supposedly at fault. This is how they think. So, one social media outlet has already taken action against this woman for cyberbullying me. That's a point in my direction. Because the more evidence I have that people have acknowledged this is happening and have taken actions to try to protect me, the more I might be able to legally do something about this. Anyways, so she ventured off of Recolor when she got banned and came to YouTube and started finding YouTubers to spread lies to. And
Blissy.
it all blew up
Blissy.
because she was in the background.
Okay, Blissy, if you can cooperate with all the bullshit. I mean, Blissy, you really shouldn't be involving yourself with Mary, with Adrasia. I mean, anything you say to Adrasia, she's gonna spin it in her own little narrative to make herself the victim. There's no point in reasoning with her. There's no point in trying to talk her out of this bullshit. She is just gonna continue on this path and never stop. Clearly, there's nothing much anyone can do at this point except to point our fingers and laugh at her. even though that's more immature than what she does.
Going to these different channels, spreading lies. That's where they're getting a whole lot of what they're saying. I thought it was mostly coming from my family, but most of it is coming from Blissy, and some of it is coming from my...
And Aunt Kathy, and Adonis Paul. But, of course, Blissy is the source of all your problems. Yeah.
Family. You know, my aunt will now say she knows nothing about the trial, but back then she was very fine going on an interview talking about a $50,000 lawyer that didn't exist, and a raid that didn't exist, and all this other stuff. So, you know, it's not all Blissy.
Yeah, of course it's Aunt Kathy, it's Adonis Paul, it's Royce Lopez, it's JJ Stoner.
It's not all my family. It is all petty. And it has been going on for a year now. I mean, with Blissy, it's been going on for years. But on Recolor, I was used to that, and I could just kind of like ignore it. Like, I didn't go into her threads. I just didn't read it. Same as now, I'm not listening to those videos that she makes about me.
If you see this,
I don't listen.
Do you know about the murder of Roberta Laws?
And it takes
this bitch
forever
sent emails to a convicted child molester to get rid of his handicapped fiance. I'm pretty sure you heard about that. I'm pretty sure you've seen Mayo parts 1 to 3.
Thank you. I jumped over to YouTube. And again, a social media platform had to take action to stop the cyberbullying of me. They took down Virgie's channel. And, again, that was blamed on me. They're constantly in my comments saying, well, it's your fault this guy's channel was down. It's your fault. He wasn't even here that long. It's your fault. No. YouTube reviewed the videos and decided that that was against their terms. But I'm the one being blamed. The one that was being bullied, the one that was being harassed, is the one being blamed.
People are just going to automatically accept their life despite the fact that they can contradict facts and evidence. Also, fuck off, Mary Woods Barone.
For harassing and cyberbullying and doxing me. So I'm going to be taking some time off, but I am keeping all of this, documented. I'm keeping the Daywave shovel as proof of unwanted gifts.
Murderer!
I'm keeping the things that they left in my mailbox.
I thought you sold that.
Of the harassment in real life, I've already contacted the police once and had to file a report. That's in the file.
And Mary tried to call the police on Adonis Paul, and that prompted Adonis Paul to make Mayo, the Mayo series. Adrasia, Queen of the Gut, Princess of the Gutter. I mean, dude, when I first heard about this woman, I thought she was just another crazy bitch until I found out who basically let her trauma corrupt her, until I found out about the fucked up things she has said and the fucked up things she has done. Do I believe that Adrasia murdered Roberta Laws? No, she didn't. She was an accessory. Do I believe that Mary lied about the whole thing? Yes, she lied about it. And what's funny is that she expects her lies to be accepted as truth. She is not that smart, nor will she ever be that smart. And if she does try to defend people who have been dealt with, scrutiny, she'll defend someone who she'll believe has been cyberbullied on YouTube. Like she defended Boogie when Boogie kind of did that fucked up thing by firing that gun in the air when Frank Hassel came to his house. I mean, that was fucked up, what Boogie did.
It adds up. It adds up and it adds up. And one thing or two little things here and there, they're not a crime. But if they add up and they get a thick stack, it becomes cyber stalking, which is a crime.
That's not what we're doing.
It does seem like it's going to keep escalating because she sent me an email the other day threatening that she's going to larger channels about me. And I can only hope that a larger channel would do some fact checking. Because Daywave and JJ Stoner and Adonis Paul did zero fact checking before starting to spout these lies about me. Zero fact checking.
Virgie did fact checking when he pulled up your court papers. And of course, your testimony in regards to the murder of Roberta Laws.
They claimed that they knew everything about me.
Well, because you put it out there for everyone else to see.
Before they started, but then they didn't even know how to find the articles about the murder. They were
Virgie provided some information about the court case. And dude, Adonis Paul posted links to the articles about the murder of Roberta Laws in the description of the first Mayo documentary.
We're like, though this was probably a lie because we can't find anything about it. If you did so much research, you would have been able to find those articles. You did no research.
Yeah, he did.
Your research was a long-winded email from a bitch in Australia with a vengeance against me for extremely petty reasons.
No.
The majority of what was said was not true, and everybody just ran with it.
Bitch! There were articles about the murder. And guess what? And the prosecutor said it best. If he was a loaded gun, she pulled the trigger. Which means your words were enough to set Kenneth McBride off to murder Roberta. So don't go pulling that crap and saying, I'm not a murderer. Bullshit. You were an accessory to murder. But you don't want to admit it because that makes you guilty. And of course, innocent people don't go on these winded rants trying to confess their innocence. That's something, and innocent people don't threaten suicide constantly. That's somewhat a guilty person would do. I mean, yeah, look at what happened with Low Tax. He took his own life because he was guilty of being a complete and utter scumbag.
It's frustrating. And all I can do is continue to proclaim my innocence in all of this. I am not the person I'm being painted to be. The cyber stalking, the cyber harassment, it is petty. It's not going to stop.
Yeah.
I'm taking a break. They're not.
Yeah, it's never going to stop until you leave the internet permanently. But I know damn well that's never going to happen. So, to keep up with that shit, I shall show you something that you might enjoy. And I'm not going to be reading Mary's book. Well, not I Will Never Stop Screaming. But what I will do is I will look at not that one. Don't. The fuck are you talking seeing? I don't know. But any idiot will see that this woman should not be taken seriously. This one. Let me see if I can open in Google Chrome. Or Microsoft Word. Nope. Not worth it. Well, not worth the Microsoft Word. But Google Chrome might work. On second thought, I'll use Microsoft Word.
Not going to. So, I'm not expecting it to stop just because I'm going away. I'm just needing a break from being told every single day of my life that I'm a horrible person, that every...
Who was low tax? Low tax, Chase the Train. If you don't know who low tax is, which you're better off not knowing, but I'm just gonna say it anyways. Low tax was the creator of some of the. Have you heard of Something Awful? Have you ever heard of the site called Something Awful, which basically was the precursor to almost every forum site on the internet? Yeah, Low Tax was the guy who made that.
Everybody hates and would like to die. Because it wears a person down. It wears a person down to be repeatedly told that they are nothing, that they are worthless, that they are garbage, that they are unlovable, that they should be dead, and that everybody wants them dead, including their own family. It wears a person down. It wears down the soul. And it's not true.
No. The reason why he's a lowlife is because he's an abusive husband and an abusive father. That's why he's a lowlife. Well, was an abusive husband and an abusive father. I mean, he basically talks shit about his daughter. And then, I think, called her a cunt. And he was basically verbally and physically abusive to his spouses. And his children. So, he was a real shitty person. So... Yeah. He put a shotgun in his mouth and now he did. Yeah. And he also let his kids hang out with a pedophile, or at least a guy who had like pedophilic tendencies. Anyway, we're going to be looking at some classic Adrasia.
When I was a child,
growing up in that house, I spoke out a lot about what was happening. And my parents were always able to lie their way through. Mary doesn't know what she's talking about.
That's true.
There's something wrong with her. She lies. Everybody always believed them. Because it's just known that kids lie. And parents don't listen, so...
You know, because I like to go back to these videos because, you know, Mary will eventually have a freak out and say, this person did this to me! So I just might as well see the meltdown.
It's okay to take the parents at their word. I'm 36 years old now. Still speaking out about the abuse.
I don't know about that guy. All I know is that he challenged it. One thing that's funny that most people laugh at him about is him challenging this shitty director to a boxing match and he ultimately lost.
And still having my family say, don't listen to Mary. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She lies. In 36 years, this family has treated me like garbage.
I think it's the other way around. And by the way, this was on October 8th, a few months ago.
That they would not swim with. And it still hurts that people still believe them. Without question. No matter how much proof I show. And they always will. That's the reality of being an abuse victim. Oftentimes, the abusers get away with it. And they slander their victims and they're believed. Because the victim isn't strong enough or doesn't have enough money to fight back. Whoever the family lawyer is, this person sat down with my grandmother. As my grandmother told her that I was the most important thing to her, that I was the one she was the most concerned about, I was the one she wanted to ensure was...
Okay, I'm just gonna stop Mary there. Her grandmother spoiled her. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget the fact that her grandmother spent almost every penny on this frog-faced horse toad, this mongoloid subhuman. And I know it sounds harsh of me to call her a mongoloid, but dude, you can mistake Mary for Cyrax's twin sister. They have the same eyes and they have the same fucked up teeth. The only difference is Mary doesn't have the same hairline as Chance. But they have the same brain.
Was taken care of. That woman had a copy of the will. She could have read it at any time. And instead, she demanded 10.
The Batman. I recommend you go and look at Mayo, the Adrastia story, and watch and spend the next 5 to 6 hours watching watching the first documentary on the first day, and then spend like 3 hours watching the second documentary on the second day, and then spend like couple of hours watching the third documentary. You'll get an understanding of who this person really is, and you'll loathe her for what she is.
$1,000, or it didn't exist. Y'all want to tell me I'm greedy?
Well, she is greedy.
Right. I'm greedy.
She is greedy. I think this was
wonderful family lawyer.
I think she was talking about what Aunt Kathy said to her, that she's a selfish, greedy, spoiled brat.
Sat down with my grandmother and knew what was in her heart and what her final wishes were just months before she passed away. And then demanded $10,000 for those wishes to ever be known. That's greedy. That's selfish. That's disgusting behavior.
Disgusting!
That nobody will ever acknowledge. That
Cyberbullying adrastia. Yes, I will be looking at some of the few sections of cyberbullying adrastia. What is a bully? The definition of a bully is a person who is habitually cruel, insulting, or threatening to others in an attempt to dominate or intimidate. Victims are typically seen as someone who is weak or vulnerable, victims who may have something the bully wants. The definition of a bully is the act of treating someone in a cruel, insulting, threatening, or aggressive fashion repeatedly, or to attempt to cause someone to do something by means of force or of coercion. Cyberbullies are more dangerous because the internet gives them the safety of anonymity, causing them to say things they probably wouldn't in a real life situation. For those of you who are about to donate to the arts, remember the PayPal link is in the pinned comment if you wish to donate to the arts. Yes. Let's just take a moment to fill out the link to donate to the arts. No, the Batman. I don't think she's incestuous. She looks like she's incestuous, but she ain't. She looks like she may have been the product of incest, but she ain't. She looks that way. But she's just a fucking idiot. And much like Aunt Kathy said, she's not crazy. She's just dumb. And rightfully so. I say she is dumb. PayPal. For those who wish to donate to the arts, there is a link to the PayPal for those who wish to donate to the arts. Anyway, let's continue reading. Cyberbullying is a real problem online, and it is not just a game for kids in high school anymore. The people in this story are all adults. That only helps to make the situation much worse. Much worse, because the people doing this can't explain away their behavior with youth or school peer pressure. They're grown men, fully aware of what they are doing. It's not bullying when it's adults. It's targeted harassment, destroy, and kill. Clearly, this bitch doesn't know what trolling is. Clearly, nobody show her the other channels that do this type of shit. You know what the main channels do? They're just gonna mock her. If Blissy does go to the main channels, they're just gonna mock her, laugh her, and it's gonna exasperate her insanity. Anyway, online, there are large communities that harass the mentally ill. They attack those of us who aren't mentally strong enough to fight back. They know they're stronger. They know their victim is sick, and they don't care. This creates an extremely dangerous situation, which will be relived through this book as best as I can. But don't bully people. Please don't bully people, whether you're a child or an adult. Everyone is going through their own struggles. Cruelty and hate never helped anyone. Chapter 1. Who is Adrazia? Adrazia. No, I didn't slam my palm on the left side of the keyboard. That's my username. Also my author name. This is my second book. Sorry if the spacing is off or the grammar is bad. I am not a professional writer. I'm a mentally ill woman trying to tell her story. My real name is Mary. I'm currently 36 years old, diagnosed with CPTSD, bipolar, borderline personality disorder, and a fairly bad eating disorder. I have 0 real-life friends and no social skills to make any. In all honesty, I'm scared of people. I grew up in an abusive home. My father beat my mother nightly. He beat her the day my brother was born, causing him to be born with cerebral palsy. We always had roaches, head lice, and anxiety. The screaming was so constant that my brother would get scared if it wasn't loud. A TV or radio would have to be on for him. That's the beginning of my mental health issues, the CPTSD. Childhood abuse stunts emotional growth, so even though people see me as intelligent, I'm not emotionally an adult, and possibly will never be. Got that right, Mary? I cry easily and always have. Everything feels like forever. So when bad things happen in my mind, it's never going to stop, and I feel hopeless and helpless to control my own life. Let's see. Let me check. I haven't received anything from you, the Batman. Just yet. But I will. Soon. I will soon. I haven't seen anything. But hopefully I will. But let us commence with the reading. My family has spent my entire life insisting that there is nothing wrong with me because I'm smart. And you can't be smart and mentally ill according to them. What it actually means is that I'm crazy, but I'm able to understand why I'm crazy. Understanding an illness and controlling it are entirely separate beasts. I was the kid in class that smelt bad, the one with no friends, the one people made fun of. I remember being on the school bus and hearing boys joke about me being a Columbine shooter. Honestly, I don't think Mary can ever. I don't think Mary knows how to fire a gun or even load a gun. She is such a fucking idiot. I was quiet and alone, always feeling like no one would ever understand or love me. Now at 36, I still feel that way. I was in an abusive marriage at 19 with a person who did not love me and just used me to shield a gender identity problem they had. I was a witness to a murder that still causes me a lot of anxiety and stress. Well, technically, you also helped bury the body. She helped, well, technically, Mary did help bury the body. And was probably the person who told the murderer to go through with the act. I've had a drug and alcohol addiction problems. I've had drug and alcohol addiction problems that I have overcome, except for marijuana. By the way, PayPal me /Adrastia so that I can buy more weed and not pay my rent. So I can be homeless on the street. Excuse me. I'm gluten intolerant. And I tend to use it against my eating disorder to lessen hunger symptoms, causing my hair to fall out from alopecia. Which, of course, that isn't true because, of course, I keep dyeing my hair with dangerous chemicals which kill my hair follicles, and that's when I start losing my hair. I've been on my own for 5 years, homeless, trying to survive. I shit in a bowl and piss in a cup. And I would dump that out in the middle. And I would dump my shit in a church parking lot. In a dumpster. And by the way, I'm reading chapter 1 of Cyberbullying Adrastia. And I had some music to play along with this shit. Seeing therapists and doctors, taking medication, and trying to heal from a family that is still actively abusing me. I have very severe depression episodes that leave me suicidal. My arms are covered in deep scars from self-harm. I hear voices when I get very upset, and it becomes harder to distinguish what's real. Strictly speaking, I'm crazy, unhealthy, and desperately in need of support. Support which I found online, where cyber strangers treated me better than anyone real ever had. Translation, author's note, narrator's note. The support she was receiving are from Facebook simps who donate money to her PayPal. I had a YouTube for 4 years where I talked about my struggles, sang songs, played video games, and felt a part of a group. Felt cared for. Really, in actuality, she walks around the street and basically starts screaming at the top of her loud and threatening suicide. She can't sing worth a damn, and she sucks at video games. During my homeless years, that support would keep me moving forward. Unfortunately, the same platform that gave me a new life has the power to destroy that life. And I guess that's enough background to get into this tale, so let's go. Disorder! Oh, damn. Toxicity. About city. Yo! How do you on this? Wake up! You want to do? I don't think you trust in my self-righteous suicide. I cry when angels deserve to die. I don't know. That's what she's got to do.
Happened.
Now back to this crazy bitch.
They're just gonna keep going back and forth on why it was my fault. That the will was never read. That the will that left me everything. vanished.
Wake up!
I didn't lie.
Yes, you did.
I didn't lie in my books.
Yes, you did.
I haven't lied on my Facebook.
Yes, you
or
did.
on YouTube.
Yes, you did.
Everything y'all have proven has been hearsay and speculation.
Oh, Mary sucks at everything. She sucks at singing, she sucks at video games, and she sucks at making videos.
Wild allegations that you've actually shown no evidence of at all. You keep saying it's been proven that I murdered somebody. Then why am I not in jail?
Because you cooperated with the police and they let you off scot-free.
Until I'm in jail for it, you have not proven it, have you? Until I've had police speak to me and start an investigation, what have you proven?
We've proven that you lied about the whole thing and you told Kenneth McBride to get rid of Roberta. That's pretty much it.
Nothing. Nothing at all, because all of that has been on record for a decade, and if the police truly felt there was a case, I would have been arrested way back then. Nothing you've shown is new.
No one gave a fuck about you.
How could it be when you're showing public records? You don't even have the private records that were locked away to show. Your proof is public record that everybody could have found for the last 10 years and still has never put me in jail because it was found. Your proof that my family's not abusive is that you don't see them as abusive now, but anybody who listened to my aunt...
Aunt Kathy speaks more truth than Mary does.
You know how hard it is for me to stop referring to her as aunt? That runs so deep because she is my aunt, and I feel like I should give her that formality, even though I want to take it away from her because I don't believe she deserves the title. In my heart, I can't even, separate it. Y'all don't understand. Y'all are never gonna understand. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna stop speaking out, because one day somebody's gonna watch these videos and they are going to.
I think AP talked about this in Mayo 3. Anyway, that's gonna do it for tonight. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for showing up. Thank you to Batman for donating $5. It means a lot. Anyway, but I'm not going to leave you guys empty-handed. Because, well, it's tradition that I play my favorite clip from Adonis Paul, as well as the ending credits to the most insane, crazy bitch. As you know, it's a tradition that I play the Murder of Buddha Lulz for everyone else. So, without further ado, let us start and commence the Murder of Buddha Lulz. Okay, first, I want to thank all my viewers for sticking around. I mean, thank you guys for sticking around, showing up, and that's going to do it for this stream. You guys are the best. Including you, to Batman and Chase the Train. You guys provide so much entertainment for the chat. And grab a brush and put a little makeup. Anyway, Wednesday, I shall be doing another happy hour stream. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm probably just going to wing it and play some random videos. But maybe off the bat might be about low tax, since we found out that low tax passed away. Well, actually, I found out that Lotax passed away, so I might look at some of the stuff about him, as well as Schmorky. But that's gonna be it. Anyway, to close this off, I shall play you the Murder Rebuttal Laws following Mayo Combat. Until next time, I am Rickzilla, and I will see you guys in the near future. Peace out, folks.
Oh! Mary, why are you doing this to me? You were my best friend!
I'm sorry! I had to do it so me and Kenneth could be together.
You were sleeping with my fiancé?
Yes, I've been sleeping with him, but it's only because you want me to hurt myself. You were trying to push me to hurt myself by having cerebral palsy, making me sad every day.
No!
And now you have to die.
No!
Yes!
No!
Yes!
Why is there a cat in here?
That's Smokey! That's my cat and I love him! That's why I had to kill him like everything I love.
Why are my dogs in here? I'm not a murderer. Boo.
You'll die in that hole from exposure.
Boo.
I didn't do it! I didn't do anything!
No!
You made me do this! You made me do this by being engaged to the man that I love!
Duh. Hey, that's not right.
I'm sorry I didn't have my pooping bowl.
No!
Now that you're gonna be gone, I can poop anywhere I want.
Please don't poop in my bowls.
How am I gonna fill in this hole? God damn it, stupid fucking woman, use a shovel. I already choked the bitch, you can't get rid of the body. But sweetheart, we don't have a shovel. Oh, hell. Get in the truck. Time to go to Walmart. Remember, this was self-defense because you were trying to get me to hurt myself. Bye.
Called me this morning. Hey, called me this morning. Why wouldn't you call back? Called me this morning.